Welcome to the next AIMS Online session. I'm Frank McMaster, and today we're going to talk about 10 basic rules of networking. And with networking, you always want to look for opportunities as to when you can engage some people, get your name out there, get connected, start to find opportunities for jobs, opportunities for collaboration, advancement, all those sorts of important things. You know, this is the fundamental part of your career, and people don't really spend a lot of time teaching it. They usually expect students and trainees to really learn by osmosis, by observing, if they are actually observing, and if their mentor supervisors are actually good at this themselves. And you know, with networking, it's how business gets done in academia. You know, you have to know people, you have to connect people, people have to know who you are. It really is fundamentally a social game at its very core. You have to have the great science to back it up. But, you know, if people don't know what you're doing, you're one of those lost to history types. So, when you go to a seminar, that's a huge opportunity. Why? You have the chance to ask questions of speakers that they bring in, and even your local speakers. You can chat afterwards, you know, talk a little bit more about them, and you can really, if somebody, you know, you're really interested in, that you really dig, is coming to town, you can ask who's hosting them to see if they can set up a time for you to meet with them. Usually, you know, sometimes they're desperate to fill some slots. Not everybody's schedules line up and all that sort of thing. So sometimes an academic that's visiting can be left, you know, twiddling their thumbs for a little while. Why not take advantage of that time, meet them, make a good connection, and see what happens? You do want to prepare. You want to read their papers. You want to be up on their latest work. You really want to know what they're up to as a lab, because going in ignorant and asking, you know, basic fundamental questions doesn't show your interest, your excitement, your passion. It just shows that, you know, more lazy and ignorance than anything else. You know, you want to go in knowing their work cold, so you can really talk to them at a good level about it. Trainee lunches. These are another good opportunity. Yeah, it's a bit of a cattle call. There's a lot of people in the room, and you know, but it's not just about the free food. Okay, sometimes in graduate school it is about the free food, but really it's a great chance to talk science and career stuff as well. You know, so even if the person that presented, that's doing the trainee lunch, their science is not your thing, they have a job. You know, pick their brain, talk to them about their career path. Those sorts of questions are universal. So at the very least, you can at least get some good information about that. You know, you can even think about what kind of questions you want to ask beforehand. And really, you know, much like encountering an animal in the wild, you know, a visiting academic at a trainee lunch, they're usually as scared of you as you are of them. So it makes them comfortable if people start asking questions, and they end up walking away from the institution going, wow, what a great bunch of trainees. That's an exciting place to be. And then the person that's hosting it thinks, oh, wow, I got to watch this person. They're really good. When you need a paper from another group and you can't get it online, or sometimes even if you can get it online, you know, email the author, ask for the paper. Don't just ask though. Can I have your reprint on blah 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 published in the Journal of Obscure Results? No. You want to tell them what you're up to briefly. You know, something like, can I get your paper on X because we looked at X and found Y, so we're really excited about blah, you know, and that sort of stuff. You really want to try to engage at past the superficial level, because that way they know, oh, this group's working in my field. Maybe I should keep an eye on them. Don't forget to say thank you afterwards. That's always nice. I hope your mother taught you that. And if you have a question about the paper, ask them. You know, when in doubt, go to the straight source. Yeah, you don't want to inundate them with 1,000 questions. That's being a jerk. But if you have one question that's a meaningful question that really relates to your work, that'd be helpful, be appreciative, ask the question, all that sort of stuff. When you publish your own work, don't be afraid to send people your work. Don't be shy. You know, you don't want to be a tool about it though. You want to personalize why this is pertinent to them. You know, consider the noise of, you know, how much stuff they get. and you want to rise above it. So, if you publish on DTI, diffusion tensor imaging, and autistic disorders, and there's a great group at Stanford that's doing some really neat stuff, you can send the paper to them and say, hey, we were working on this. Given your work, we thought you might be interested. If you have anything that you're working on that's similar, we'd be really excited to hear about it as well. Or we're very up on your work. Be complimentary, however you want to try to work it. You want to send to your department heads or whoever manages the departmental newsletters and all that sort of stuff. Institutes, so they can list it on the website so that you can get the credit where credit is due. If your name is up there a lot, that establishes momentum. Momentum is important. For awards, submit it. Why not? You could win. Somebody has to win. So if there's an opportunity to link your paper to an award, go for it. And of course, update your papers on your website, ResearchGate, LinkedIn, your Facebook page, whatever it is that you do, put it there. If you are on Twitter, tweet about your paper, link it to the journal, try to connect to some of their readership, some of their Twitter followers, and try to really get it out there. Conference time. It's not just about the free alcohol. Okay, sometimes it's about the free alcohol. But really at a conference, never waste a second. If they have a mentor program, take advantage of it. You never know who you're going to meet and what kind of relationship you're going to develop. You want to pre-plan. You want to look at the program, see who will be there, and if there's someone you're really keen to work with or collaborate with, or hell, that you just want to meet. Ask them if they have time to go for a coffee or go to lunch. Most scientists, shockingly enough, are socially awkward and look forward to not sitting alone sometimes. Even at these conferences, it's nice to be able to sit and talk with some people. When you visit posters and talks, again, be prepared. Ask questions. Squeeze in what you do a little bit if possible. You don't want to go off in a 20-minute diatribe about your echo time for your particular acquisition scan. No, people will throw things at you, and they should. But you want to say, hey, we found this, you found that. How do you think that works? You want to make those kinds of quick connections, nice punchy questions that show what's going on and that you're very interested in what they have to say about it. When at seminars, conferences, all that sort of stuff, in general, every second of your life, be prepared. Always have an updated CV available. Check on that thing every week at least to make sure that you've captured everything that you're doing. Because sometimes once you forget, you forgot. And really have a master CV where you put in everything, every agonizing detailed date, because you never know what sort of details people are going to look for. And that changes over time. Sometimes they may want the day of something, sometimes they might not. And you're going to be thinking, oh, in 2010 I presented when? April what? How many people were in the room? How many learners? You want to write down as much of that stuff as possible and keep it updated. Be prepared. When you present your own data, when people come talk to you at your poster, sell the hell out of yourself, your study, the big picture of the work that you're doing. You really want to get people excited. Be a little bit social. Be relaxed. When you give your talk, have a pulse and show some passion. It doesn't hurt to actually show that you're excited about the work that you do. It comes out kind of weird when you aren't actually. Number 8, and I shouldn't have to say this, but sadly I do. Be a human being. Being nice to people pays off. When people are looking at a future colleague, the genius prima donna kind of, person who's evil to everyone and yells at trainees and makes people cry and that sort of stuff, those are very rare, and they last very fleeting moments in time, unless they are some sort of legendary super genius, which again is extremely rare. So by being a human being, people think, oh, you know what? If we're at a faculty mixer, I could hang out with this person. Or if we're at the staff barbecue, oh yeah, I could have a burger and talk shop with this person or talk about the kids. You want to come off like you are hopefully a human being. And it's sad if you think you have to fake it, but you really want to work on this part. It's a social game. Because always remember that really, half of jobs that people get is through a direct contact. 80% are through a somewhat more vague connection. So when people say, oh, it's all in who you know, it is. And a big reason for that, frankly, is you're coming pre-vetted. If, Dr. Jane says you're a wonderful person and does great work, that carries a lot of weight, with someone who's friends with Dr. Jane. If Dr. Jeff says, oh, yeah, this person's terrible. Oh, my gosh. Oh, you're in the room with him. You end up wanting to put a Black & Decker drill in your head. That carries weight as well. So you're always on. You are always on stage. The camera's always on you, if you will. And you really have to perform pretty consistently to make sure that people see you for a valuable person that you are. That they think, wow, this is someone I want as my colleague. Number 10, you have to give to get. When people are looking for help, looking for connections, all that sort of stuff, don't be a tool, be a mensch. Life gets you far when you take the time to actually care about other human beings and really try to coach them up, be helpful, connect people. One of the other things too is that as part of this social game, if you know someone who's working on something that could work great with somebody else and they don't know each other, introduce them. Do the right thing. If they've got chocolate and they've got peanut butter, you could have a Reese's. So you want to be that person that helps facilitate those things. What that also does, on a pragmatic level, it also engenders in a lot of people a feeling of debt and the need to give something back to you and to be helpful to you. It's that old karmic cycle. It's one of those things for a reason. You want to give good vibes and be helpful, be a mensch as much as humanly possible, so people do it for you. So, the last note is that, basically I'm telling you to toot your own horn. And a lot of people have incredible issues about that. Self-esteem problems seem to be a running theme. Everybody, especially trainees, seem to be very nervous about talking about their work because, well, what if somebody pokes a hole in it? Oh my, what will happen then? You know what? Everybody's work has holes in it. Everyone. A lot of the top papers that have been published in cancer research, for example, in preclinical studies, they can't even be replicated. And these are published in the top high-impact journals by top groups. It's life. It's science. There's churn. There's work. Things change. Things always get better. So, toot your own horn. As long as you're always trying to work your best, do your best, all that sort of good stuff, that's what actually counts. So get out there, be proud, be loud, but be nice. Be a mensch, and you will get very, very far. So thank you very much, and have a good day. And remember, be nice, network, let people know what you do.